Diabetes means that the production or action of insulin, which limits the maximum amount of a sugar called glucose allowed to circulate in the blood, stops working forever. The pancreas, which ordinarily produces and releases the exact amount of insulin needed to maintain non-diabetic levels of blood glucose, never functions normally again. Once it is uncontrolled, the amount of glucose quickly rises way above normal to dangerous, toxic levels called hyperglycemia. When this happens, diabetes mellitus is diagnosed. After diagnosis, we who develop type 1 or type 2 diabetes must learn to think like a pancreas in order to self-treat this incurable hyperglycemia throughout our lifetime. The main downside of living with diabetes is never having normal non-diabetic glucose values be perfectly controlled by insulin from our pancreas without our even having to think about it. Logically, replacing dangerous abnormal glucose values with normal non-diabetic ones is the smartest and safest way to deal with diabetes. The normal glucose range is approximately 71 to 99 milligrams per deciliter. And with a brief hands-on training and supervised experience, diabetic adolescents and adults can quickly correct abnormal sugar levels and maintain safe non-diabetic values. Still, the routinely recommended medical treatment for diabetes is not to restore normal glucose levels. On the contrary, we are illogically encouraged to maintain abnormally elevated glucose values way higher than the safe non-diabetic ones. This is not logical or helpful advice if you know and understand that for diabetics, the higher the glucose levels, the greater their toxicity and damage to the body. Whether or not we have diabetes, only normal non-diabetic glucose levels protect us from the physical damage and complications of chronic diabetic hyperglycemia. Only abnormal diabetic blood sugar levels are harmful. But as illogical as it may seem, the safe non-diabetic glucose values are universally considered dangerous and way too low for people with diabetes. Needless to say, this absurd belief is not true or confirmed in any way. Even worse, many professionals and people with diabetes are convinced that chronic hyperglycemia is natural, to be expected for those who have diabetes. This belief, although neither true nor logical, frees everyone involved in diabetes and its treatment from genuine efforts and success in normalizing dangerous diabetic hyperglycemia. Although it is proven that diabetic hyperglycemia is toxic and causes serious harm to the body, common therapeutic options for diabetes treatment illogically allow and even encourage the abnormally elevated glucose values that give rise to those very damages. In the next video, I'll talk about the major lifelong source of irreparable damage to the body of people with diabetes.